Hey, let's talk a little bit about Dusty Rhodes. It's written here in the final days before the Hard Justice pay-per-view. Dusty Rhodes was removed as booker from TNA, and here's exactly what Dave said happened. Rhodes officially resigned on May 10th when he showed up for a booking meeting in Nashville and saw that Jeremy Borash, Bill Banks, and Scott D'Amore were all there, and he was told by Dixie Carter that they were going to book by committee from this point forward. According to sources close to Rhodes, they were told they were going to sit down and put together the pay per view show on May 15th and the subsequent tapings on the 17th. And Rhodes said the decisions for both shows had already been done. And they want to talk about what to do with the NWA title. Rhodes said there's nothing to discuss, that AJ is going over for the championship at the pay per view. Carter said they need to debate the pros and cons of Styles as champion and rethink the decision. I guess Dusty said something like he doesn't have a problem with booking with a committee, but he felt some of the people on the committee don't have enough product knowledge and shouldn't be there. And he wanted to be able to have a say as to who was on the committee. I guess Mike Tenay, who lives in Las Vegas at this point, was not at the meeting, but he's also supposed to be a part of this new committee. It's written that you, Jeff, are not going to be on the new committee, but you will have input. And obviously, Jeremy Borash is closely aligned with you. And it's written in the Observer here. It says, all major creative decisions will also have to be approved by an executive committee, which would likely be Dixie and the new TNA CEO, Frank Dickerson. Is this the way it went down? It's going to be a committee, and we've got a cast of characters here. Bill Banks, Jeremy Borash, Scott D'Amore, Dixie Carter, Frank Dickerson, and Dusty says, I'm out. Is that the way you remember this going down?
I know, I'm pretty sure it's in the notes, but Scott leading the committee.
He's on the committee, yes.
But the story is Frank, and I get this. I could just imagine the conversation that Bob had with Frank. Get your ass to Nashville, and I want you to run the show, and you run it the best you can. Well, Frank not knowing a damn thing about wrestling, Scott chatted him up. They became buddies. Okay, the best thing to do is make this a democratic process. Not everybody can be wrong, or we're all going to vote on this. So let's create this committee. Dusty diplomatically said, peace out. They thought that was the best transition. We don't want to remove Dusty and replace Dusty with a Scott D'Amore, or Dusty with Jeremy Borash, or Dusty with whoever. So we'll turn this into a committee and we'll let Scott run it. And hey, Jeff, you've got a lot on you. And I know Jill was, I think this is around the time she was being diagnosed for the second time. There was a lot going on. The pressure, I'll say this, when Bob realized that the Jarretts brought an alternative to the financing, that we were serious, that, hey, Bob, if you want some relief, we understand, we respect, we greatly appreciate how far you've brought us. But if you want out, we didn't want to, we gave you the opportunity. Well, when he let us know on uncertain terms, also think that he was kind of moving some chess pieces, because not long after this, Conrad, is when he knew that the Jerry Jarrett TNA Entertainment relationship was headed toward a finality, and they did. They bought him out and paid him every penny back when they didn't have to. But that was all kind of part of Bob. And look, hindsight's 2020, but it was all part of Bob getting Dixie in a position to run the company. And again, hindsight's 2020, but looking back on it, that's exactly, let Frank come in and do all the hard work, so to speak, to kind of realign where good cop, bad cop. But again, going back to understanding the core of this industry, the very core of it, Frank's solution of let's play nice with everybody, put a committee in place. Dusty said, peace out. Jeff, you've got all kinds of things that you need to be doing, because I still had whatever title that was, and a talent. Let's operate under this. And I said, Frank, you got it. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, Panda was the boss. I knew my old man's situation was super tense. So let's just kind of push on through this. I hired Jeremy. I hired Scott. I hired Banks. I don't know who else was on this. Tanay was a part of it. I think there was ultimately 5 guys. We could probably count them. And I just said, hey, let's see where this goes. Dusty did the right thing though, when he just said, hey, I don't have a problem, but this committee's not for me.
I want to ask you about losses here. It's written in the Observer that since the Carters have taken over financial and since September of 02. So as a reminder, the whole shooting match starts in June of 02. So here we are, July, August, September, just 3 months into this thing. And the Carters are going to take over. But he says between September of 2002 and now we'll call it the summer of 05, the TNA had lost over $20 million. I just don't believe that, Jeff. Is that real? I mean, how could the math ain't mathing, even at paying to be on TV, 20 grand. I just don't see it.
And I think we've kind of done the napkin math that hypothetically speaking, if you lost 50 grand a week, because let's just say, anyway, 50 grand, 100 grand is what it costs to put it on. Say we lost our, whatever number you want to use, but 50 grand a week, Conrad, is what?
2.6 million.
Yeah. Okay. Double that. 5.2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first 2 years going to, we're just not anywhere close to it. Never. But going back to kind of our point, I think Dave heard a slither here and a slither there and a slither here and this and that. Okay. Bob, I mean, Conrad, I have no idea why he had such a hard on, because over 20 million is complete fabrication.
It's just, I keep coming back to, why didn't you co-op the meeting?
Yeah. Well, on the Toby deal,
yeah.
I think he believed, not Toby, I think Dave, it just, oh, well, lesson learned, my man, lesson learned.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105. Or get yourself a quick quote, even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.